an extremely rare snowstorm blankets the Deep South, and I take the Jeep out for a ride. While this is a return trip for the West Georgia Loop, this may be the only chance in my life I will ever get to ride this trail in the snow.
For all 159 Georgia counties.
Typically used to seeing snowfall amounts like this in middle and south Georgia.
A lot of rural, unpaved roads, and pretty much all of them are still pretty much covered in snow, water, and ice.
Kids that live in the South have quite literally never seen snow before.
Well, I am born and raised in the Deep South, and I have seen snow before, but I will say that this snowstorm is probably the second most snow I have ever seen in my life. Now, I know you guys who live up north are going to laugh that just under 3 inches of snow is the second most I've ever seen, but like I said, guys, I'm in the middle of Georgia. We don't get snow here. The 93 snowstorm in Atlanta was the most I'd ever seen. This now is second. So you check this out. Look at these views. God, it is beautiful to see the Deep South covered in snow. Never seen nothing like this in my life that I can remember, at least not in my adult life. Well, the deep snow has hit the Deep South. Middle Georgia has 2 to 3 inches of snow. First time they said in 60 or 80 years we've gotten snow this far south. So I'm out in the Jeep playing around, having fun. So today really had no agenda. I kind of made it up on the fly. Here's what I wound up. Roads are gonna be very iced over and very slick. So I'm gonna stick to the West Georgia Loop. As much gravel as I possibly can, because I get traction in gravel. Can't get traction in ice, no matter how good a driver you are. There's just no traction in ice. It's like trying to drive a race car with slick tires in the rain. It ain't gonna work. Dale Earnhardt could have drove a car with slicks in the rain. But anyways, we're on the West Georgia Loop. Not doing a whole loop though, we're doing a small part. It's a little day trip, have some fun. So as I was mentioning there, the paved roads are really iced over and really slick, so I'm avoiding them as much as possible and sticking to the gravel roads and the dirt roads of the West Georgia Loop. To this point, you know, people are crazy. I'm gonna say that. I'm out here driving cautiously. I'm hitting the paved sections. It's very iced over. I'm doing, you know, sometimes 15 miles an hour. I might get up to 20, 25. if it's a good stretch. If I see a stretch of long, dry pavement, I'm going to hit 45 until I hit the next patch of shade, and then I'll slow back down. I'm being cautious. Apparently, everybody else in Georgia didn't get the memo. I've almost every time I turned around had a truck riding my tail, and one of them dang near put it in the ditch, and I got it on dash cam. Oh my Lord. This dude, I mean, hey, you know what? Good recovery on his part. He tried to pass me and crashed. What can I say? We don't get snow around here very often. People don't know how to drive, and they were very impatient. I guess he had to go somewhere in a hurry, and he dang near put it in the ditch trying to get there. So, yeah, hope you learned a lesson. So right here comes a stop sign. This truck is caught up to me and just rides my tail the whole way. I'm going cautious because we're in the shade, we're in ice, and we're heading up the main road here. And as I get up here, I'm making the first left, and I figured he's going to stay on the main road. Well, guess what? He's also making the first left, and rather than give me a chance to find a spot to pull over, he just guns it in the ice, and yeah, dang near wiped out trying to get around me. So some of the same people who struggle to drive when it is sunny and 70 decide they want to try to pass you when the roads are froze over with ice. Now that we're back on the West Georgia Loop, you should recognize this as the path we take to the covered bridge. Well, folks, that right there is what happens when you try to pass somebody in a no passing lane and there's ice on the road. He luckily did not crash. We did not have a severe accident there, severe injury, or he spun out earlier and hit me and put me in a ditch because he's being a fool, and I'm out driving around trying to mind my own business and do things the right way. So this is the problem with ice and snow, and honestly driving in general. You can't control the other people. It's just the way it works. So the dangers of being out in this stuff, guys. This is why I said I wanted to avoid the paved roads, because I just know you're gonna run into some fool out here riding around driving beyond their ability, and they're likely are liable to hit me and wreck me too. that is about all I'm going to do today. You've been watching the West Georgia Loop. If you want to know more about the West Georgia Loop, this is kind of like the Georgia Traverse of where I live at, which is Midwest Georgia. You want to learn more about this trail and other trails like it, Google a guy called VMan1313. He has his own website, he has his own YouTube channel, Instagram accounts, all this stuff. Never met him, but I've talked to him several times. And what you're going to find is he put all these trails together. Guy just went out in all these back roads and dirt roads and mapped out all these areas and figured out these trails to make. And they're all in the style of the Georgia Traverse. So that's what this is. This is the one that happens to be adjacent to my house, which is why I ride it. So I got out and drove a little bit of the northeast portion. I did not make it as far as the covered bridge. That was the plan, but it didn't happen because people were driving like idiots out here. And I decided that there's a really big dip. You gotta cross the river to get there. And I was like, yeah, I don't want to do all that with the way people are driving. So I skipped on that part and I just did the northeast portion. But if you like this trail, I've obviously done it numerous times. Matter of fact, I think I have an entire playlist dedicated to the West Georgia Loop. Actually, technically, he calls it the West Georgia Adventure Loop. I shortened it because I say that all the time and it's too many words. So I gave it an abbreviated title. It is the exact same trail.
2 very boring minutes later.
Let's get back on topic. I'm here to tell you this is the end of the video. And we're heading back to the house. West Georgia Loop in the snow has been a blast. I may never in my life get to ride this trail in snow again because we do not get snow in this area often. And yeah, I got out, I enjoyed it a little bit. Used the 4-wheel drive, aired down real low to get good traction. I'm still on 4-wheel drive, by the way, so I don't hit pavement up here. I need to put it back to 2-wheel drive. And I had fun, but the pavement parts, people were kind of scaring me by the way they drive. I had one dude, like I saw earlier, he about crashed into me. He did crash in front of me, he did not crash into me, but he went to pass me in no passing zone on ice. And I was wondering, I had to look at my mirror, he was right on my door. I'm like, oh my Lord, I slowed down. He went around me and he was fishtailing like this. And I didn't even know he was trying to pass me because I'm just looking ahead at the road. Next thing I know, I see something stuck in my mirror and it's his car 6 inches off of mine. Well, anyways, that was it. If you want to see more like this, there's a playlist called West Georgia Loop. If you want to find more trails that are similar to this, get Google VMan1313 and he has a whole bunch of them on there. Give him a couple bucks for all the hard work he does. Yeah, that's it. Thank you for watching 1870 Off-Road.